Alright, so we are right back into another Dragon Ball Super card game deck profile, and this time it is the one and only No Leg Day. What is Leg Day? Jiren. And this one is with the new Ultimate Box Jiren. If you didn't know, he is, I would say, completely different from the other Jiren. They both function two different ways, or in two different ways, and I think, to me, it is the reason why people are turning away from this Jiren and back to the other one. I think people are, you gotta get a little more creative and get more concise in what you want to do with the leader, and basically emphasize his strengths. And that's basically what I did with this. It's not your typical Jiren deck when you think about Jiren, but it does have everything that, basically everything that comes with Jiren, or at least Universe 11. So this is the deck profile. Looking at it, just in general, it's kind of different, right? I think it is different through playtesting today and a little bit of yesterday, and just going through about a dozen games with it. I think it is honestly like a really good deck. I mean, when you get it off and when you actually do the thing that you need to do, I think it's actually a really good deck. So let me back it up a little bit, so that way I know this is a little bit different. I did it on purpose. So let me go to the other screen here. All right, here we go. So this is the new leader, and I know this is on DBS decks. I just figured I'd just give it a shot. Shout out to Mark Hill, and just to have it here, I guess. I mean, it's just different. So this is the the new Jiren, and basically when you attack with this leader card, you may drop one Universe 11 in your hand and place it into the drop area, and if you do so, draw two cards. A number of other leaders like this, like the Lineage Goku, the new Kefla, a couple of other ones have this new effect, and it's actually pretty good. Hirudegan is the one being played right now because of all the blue support, and it does not specify what you need to actually drop. I think it's a battle card that you actually have to drop. I don't play Hirudegan, so someone tell me. I always forget. Anyway, this is a flip 2 to active after you awaken, and then the awaken side is pretty awesome. When you attack with this card, you draw one card, and you choose 9 for the activate main. You choose 9 of the Universe 11 in your drop area, and send it to warp, and it gains quadruple strike. So yes, as long as you have 9 in your drop area, you get to have quadruple strike, which is pretty legit. But it is 15k, so 15k quadruple strike sometimes isn't all that threatening. But I'll kind of explain what's going on here. So most of it is all mono yellow because you need those things in the drop area. I don't run black. I do run the Unbreakable Son Goku. It is always just sort of a flex, sort of like you can always take it out for something else kind of spot. But it has saved me in a few different situations in making sure that I survive or keep the draws up in order to proc his unawakened side, or to go for game for quadruple strike, either with this man or the other. So obviously this that is the only red or non-yellow card, but again, you don't want any black. I already explained why I did that, or why I have it in there. Bardock, the Prognator. Nope. Nope. Not even gonna try. Progenitor. Nope. I can do it. I can read. I'm not Mayweather. Let's just, come on, chill. So this is the Bardock that's one drop. It is the SR. I just realized I'm going to offend people. So just do it again. Do it again. All right, I'm back. So anyway, Bardock, the Progenitor. He is a swap 2. You pay nothing, and yes, you can play him, take a life, in which that is his auto, and you can swap into nothing. But the reason why I have him is for self-awakening. He is the only he is pretty much the only way to self-awaken in this deck. I have Kunchi in the sideboard, but I mean that's really just a executive choice in which you need to make. But the reason why I have him is because of the Scrambling Assault Son Gohan, or Son Goten, and you will see this card pretty much in every deck that has yellow. Like if you don't see it in that deck, there's no reason why you wouldn't. And I took the opportunity, like I think when we think about engines, I think we need to take a step back and understand, you know, what parts of the engines do we actually really need, right? So the part of this engine is the lineage engine, just the 1 and 2. So you take life with Bardock, you swing if you need to, if you know you're not going to get popped by full power energy or something else like that. And then after that, if you have this bad boy in the hand, you swap into Goten because he is a Goku lineage, and his auto when it's attacks, because you will attack after, you have to. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose 1 card, add it to your hand, and then place the remaining at the bottom of the deck in any order. And that is just wild because one, you don't have to specify what you're getting, so you don't have to show to the show to the opponent what you're actually getting. Plus, it doesn't specify what the limits are. So as soon as you do that, you're able to get a lot of different pieces. And before you actually swing with Jiren, which is very tempting to get two cards, a lot of the time what I usually do is figure out what I actually want to drop into the drop area and what I don't need. So it could be a Tupper, even though he is a searcher for that, or you can use that. Vaughn, which, you know, sometimes is not very useful. Secret Vitality Jiren, which he actually has his uses, which is kind of crazy. Could be a dispo, because sometimes I don't want to use the energy, etc, etc. And if I have something else like a Zorre in the hand and I don't want to use it and I actually want to play it, I actually want to pick that up, swing with Jiren, drop it, and draw 2. The actual draw power from the life, from the Goten, and from the draw 2 in the leader, you will always have a really good hand. And you might be doing something wrong if you don't. Don't be afraid to actually attack. Don't be afraid to actually get the cards that you need. This really, like both of these things. This is the reason why this is the most expensive set or play set in the actual deck. That is why. That is literally why. Like the amount of searching and tutoring and card advantage is just insane, and as well as self-awakening, because people love to stall out a Jiren player or something similar. And you can always play him for 2 and then swing and then find a Bardock and then, you know, get a Goten later. That's always a doable thing. Until then, later into the actual game, these things are yet energy, because you get to swap him back into your hand and you can just use it for a free combo or energy. It's really no big deal. Topper, he is a top 3 look at a top 3 tutor, and he is a Universe 11 searcher. You take one, you can be really any of the Universe 11 that you're playing here, especially the Keep On Support, which is the super combo. Always fun to find a super combo, and sometimes with the Goten and the Tupper, it is such a really good combination in order to find those super combos, because that's basically what you want to do. And I'll explain it in a second. And we have the Tupper for the tutor, top 3. You got the Vaughn. He is kind of a leader fodder. Like, he is almost always either energy or being dropped into the drop area and draw 2, which is good, because you want that option. Like, you don't want to be torn apart from 2 different options in your hand, or more than 1 option in your hand. Basically, you always want to go for the weakest link, and this guy is. If you do want to play him for 2, it's not that big of a deal. He is a 15k person if you have a Tupper or something else like that in the field, and then you get to switch him to active mode. It doesn't really help this deck per se, but since he is in active mode, you can basically combo him out at any time, basically, and it's some good stuff. And 4 of, you'll always see him, so good for the leader. Zorre. So my most hated card is probably my favorite card in this deck, one of the favorite cards, and this is a 2-drop blocker. Yes, you do have to hardcast him, but he is very much worth it, because if you have another Universe 11 in your battle area, this card cannot be KO'd once per turn. There you go. I read that, like, I kept reading that, I was like, what am I reading? It cannot be KO'd once per turn. And basically what usually happens is that you would Flying Nimbus, because we do run forward those in this, and then right after that, if they're attacking, like, you Flying Nimbus their leader, and if you want to buy some time, you drop one. And then right after that, if you have Zorre on the field, you go ahead and block with the next person or the next battle card they're going to be attacking with, and then now they just wasted a turn, because now this guy doesn't die, and that's it. Once you have 2 or maybe even 3 of these guys on the board without being Zenoed or popped, because I don't run The Ox King, I don't think there's really much room for that. I'll kind of go over that in a second in the sideboard. This is just kind of random. It is really just really hard to get rid of. Like you're gonna have to play removal, or they're gonna have to figure something out. And even if they do pop it, it helps you. Like really think about that. Like anytime that this is in rest mode, or they really want to kill it, they're actually helping you because of the awakened side, and as well as the other Jiren. So really cool. Super combo, you can play it at 5 or less and draw 1 card. Always good. I already explained this on Goten. Explorer Bulma. I really want to see some more play in this girl, or with this girl, because she is really useful. Like honestly, like I really love it. I really love this Bulma, and as well as the other Bulma. I'm not running on this one, but I am running on another deck. Youthful Bulma is really cool too. I mean, that's always a thing. But Explorer Bulma is really good because when you play this card, you place up to the 2 cards in the top of your deck, so that fills your drop area for not only the Awakened side and as well as the 12 drop Jiren that we're running. But you can say no and not place any, but you can choose up to 2 of your energy, which I do every single time, switch into active mode and then draw 1. So what happens is that on turn 3, if everything is just chilling, like you play a Tupper or a Bardock and then Goten, get your cards on turn 1 for energy. Turn 2, you play a Zorre and you kind of chill out. You build more and more cards in your hand using the leader, and then in turn 3 you play Explorer Bulma, untap 2, draw 1, even more draw with him, especially if you draw another Universe 11. And then you get to play another Zorre or a Tupper or a Bardock or whatever that you need to do to awaken. I'm kind of slow on awaken for this guy. I really do want to do a battle series for that, or for this deck, or for another one that you might like. But for this deck, I definitely want to do a battle series for this one. It's always so much fun. But that's the whole thing. Like it opens up more plays, it gives you more cards in your hand, and helps you mill your deck, so that way you can actually see more cards into the drop area that you need. Secret Vitality Jiren. When you play this card, when your leader card, or if your leader card is a Universe 11, you place 1 yellow card from your hand into the drop area, which also pretty much all of them are. And if you do so, choose up to the 2 opponents' battle cards in rest mode and KO them. So this really goes well with Zorre, because they are going to be attacking with their battle cards, and you're going to be switching to blocker. And it's not going to die, and now it's in rest mode. It goes really well with Cocotte Zone, in which you would negate the attack and you leader card as Universe 11, especially if they summoned or place something on their field, like a high 4 drop, and then they attack with their leader, you'd negate, and then you rest mode the 4 drop. It is hilarious. And then right after that, you Secret Vitality Jiren, and you pop them both, or pop 1 or more. Really useful. But if not, you can just, I mean, if it's like early in the game, you really don't need them. At 3 is really perfect. Same thing for Explorer Bulma. I don't really see the purpose of running her at 4. If I ran her at 4, I would see her too much, and I don't really want to do that. Everything else that's at 4, I really want to see, especially Nimbus. It really helps with the aggro decks, etc. Swift Warrior Dispo. So a lot of it, like for this card, is very much bait. So if you wanna defend yourself, I would definitely use a Dispo, especially in the early turns. If you have 1 or 2 energy open, and then you play the Dispo in rest mode, and now that's a bait target for their leader to attack, and you just let it die. Because honestly, you want more Universe 11 into your drop area because of this effect and the other Jiren. So that's just how I see it for that. Otherwise, it's good to put on pressure. It's a Freehan, but not really. Infinite Alertness Dispo. Let's go ahead and go down a little bit. This guy is a blocker. He has the promo that just came out with set 4. And if there are 4 or more Universe 11 in your drop area, which is not very hard after you've been drawing with your leader and using a Bulma and just comboing out with everything. If there's 4 or more, it reduces the cost of this card in your hand by 2. And then at the end of the turn, you switch this card to active mode. Very useful, because it becomes a 2-drop 20k who restands, and it's really good. Now moving on to the last, but probably the most important card here, the Game Ender, because by that time they're gonna have 4 life and they're gonna want to be awakened. And this man is going for quadruple strike. So this guy is the 12 drop Jiren, Universe's strongest. And he is a 40k quadruple striker. Amazing. And he has deflect, so he can't be counterplayed like Cold Blood Acid or the what's it called, Crusher Ball. And basically, if you play this guy, you should win. Like, if you don't win with this guy, I don't know. I only play 2 of him, but with all the draw, Unbreakable, Goten, getting from your life, etc., etc., you're gonna find him. And basically, his permanent is that when there is 9 or more Universe 11 in your drop area, reduce this card in your hand or the cost in your hand by 6. So if you have 9 at least, this is a 6 drop for sure. And basically, during battle, when this card attacks, the opponent cannot counter or block. So basically, they're gonna have to combo out 40,000 quadruple strike, which is most likely not gonna happen. Most of the time, what happens, because this is your game ender, and he is your game ender, your goal of everything, and the battering laser goes with this. You place 1 yellow card from your hand into the drop area and negate the counter. So basically, this is the only thing that's susceptible. This is susceptible to is counters, or are counters. And basically, what you really want to do, or what the goal is here for this deck, is stall and get a hand size, preparing for quadruple strike on either end. So what that means is that you're gonna have to save your super combos until you're at 1 life, or until at the end. Stall out with the Zorrays, making sure to get enough Bulmas on the board to combo with, and as well as get the draw power for, control the board with Jiren, and making sure that you use Kugot Zone or even Crusher Ball if you want to side that in instead, and making sure to KO and clear their board, so that way they don't have anything to use. And playing the Jiren first. So basically, you have 6 energy, you have 9 in your drop area, you have 2 to 3, 4, maybe even I have had 4 super combos in one. Whoever I played this deck against, I'm sorry. And basically use all 6 energy to play him, and then swing. And then if they can't. If they can't combo out, which most of the time, if you have all 4, that's at least 80k quadruple strike, and then whatever's on the board. Usually don't want to, I mean, you can, so that way you pump up the drop area. Or if you don't have this guy, basically save your super combos for him, or at least anything that's in your hand, which is why the Unbreakables come in handy. And then if you have 6, 4, whatever kind of energy that you have, you warp everything in your drop area. He gains quadruple strike, you attack. You can leave 1 yellow open with a battery laser. You use the battery laser because usually people don't want to take quadruple strike, right? And after that, you counter the counter. You play all the super combos, draw, use the Unbreakables, draw, and then now you're sitting at 4, 5, 6, 7, 75,000 quadruple strike. And it does happen, and it is very, very fun. Again, I don't really build any side decks. Again, that's basically the premise of this, stalling until you get to him, and then quadruple strike with either or. But I don't usually do any side decks, so these are kind of filler cards. I just didn't want this area to be blank. Successor Hope might be a thing. Crusher Ball is definitely a thing. Kunshi is definitely a thing to replace Fawn instead, but Bardock is usually a really good and quick Self-Awakener, especially in tandem with the Sun Goten. And then Sun Goten, I don't really want these. I actually want the, whatchamacallit? I'm trying to think. Not Crusher Ball, but something else. I don't know. But either way, these are just kind of filler. It's just there. But that is it. That is it for the deck profile. Again, I think what I'm going to do from now on, if you do want to see gameplay other than an opening hand, unless I do have gameplay from something else and I can enter it here, I will do a battle series. So let me know if you want to see gameplay of this, or how to play it, etc, etc. Or if you want to play me on Untapped, reach out to me. I'm always on there most of the time, or into the Discord. I'm more than happy to play this deck, or if you want to play it and we can play together, I'm cool with that. But let me know if you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you really want to. I'll see you in the next one. Later.